So I want to transition a little. One of the other big things that we've talked a lot about over the years that is a key part of the HPF Business Masterclass I went through was the client experience. And I've always said, I think all things being equal, the business that provides the best experience will always win. You have a concept that you teach there called the love bomb, and just how to use it to impact clients and also even your internal team. Explain maybe the concept or principle behind the love bomb.
Okay, it goes back to the fact that we are social animals and we lived in tribes for protection. And if you were shunned from the tribe, then it was certain death. So acceptance and belonging equals safety and survival. It's baked deep into our nervous system and DNA. And many people know the feeling of isolation and the longing to be accepted. You see it around our culture in just exaggerated ways all the time. So I don't need to point those out to you. But and a lot of people who join cults, let's say on an extreme basis,
Sure.
They buy into the group before they buy into the ideology, right? They buy the people first. And that will be true inside your organization as well. So love bombing means that when somebody first enters into your organization, and this could be as joining your team or could also be joining as a client. Love bombing means you give them intense interaction in the beginning. Praise, compliments, love, and support. And you make them feel special and individual in a way unlikely they've ever felt before. And that's celebrating the very things that make you both feel different from everybody else. And just know from the team standpoint, you might be able to recruit because of your compensation, right? They might come for the pay, but they'll stay for the relationships. And that's true inside your business organization as well. They might come for your financial advice and services, but they won't come back unless they've developed relationships with your team. So they will buy what you've got, but they won't come back or they won't stay unless they end up fostering a relationship with the people. So if you're operating a business, the people that you recruit, again, and their ability to foster relationships, that's going to determine the viability, sustainability, the repeatability of client, the retention of client in a way that is indescribable financially. So it goes back to how important it is that you hire the right people for the right reasons, for the right attributes, for how your business operates and what kind of relationships need to be fostered on the back end. And this is not just you with your client. This is their relationship with your team. I know I got many people on my personal team that the only reason why they continue to stay with our organization is because they've fallen in love with the relationships of all the rest of the team. Yeah, they like me, or let's say tolerate me, but really they love the other members of the team. And I know that I've got plenty of people in our business, plenty of alumni who've been to our HPF, and the reason why they keep coming back isn't just because they love or like me or even love or like my curriculum and content, because they have developed relationships with my team and as a result of that relationship is what keeps them coming back and keep advocating on our behalf and keeps us ever present in their mind and in their heart and in their life. So that love bombing concept is when they first enter, making them feel special, accepted, because it's so ingrained as a need. It's one of our most essential human core needs, is to belong, to be accepted, to be seen, to be made to feel heard and important. And when you apply that concept, you envelop them early, you own them forever emotionally. So that would be the reason for that concept.
So yeah, that's the early on part. One maybe follow up to that, because this is another conversation that takes place a lot, and it's something we're always dealing with in our business, but it's like friction points. So now that you have them, they feel really, really special. How, what we talk about all the time is how do we make sure it's easy to do business with us, and how do we remove the things that are frustrating? We've still got to get better at that. But is there a good process you've seen an entrepreneur, a financial advisor, business owner, a good process you've seen them be able to go through to try and identify and remove friction points? Because that, I think, helps elongate the relationship.
I bet you see this all the time, Cody, and have to struggle with this mentality all the time. But there's lots of time and money that's spent on advertising, and too little on conversion and optimization, right?
Yep.
And then the repeat and referrals. And so here's the deal. Let me just put it bluntly. Amateurs only attend to the front end of the funnel. That's traffic, leads, and new sales. And it's the professionals that address the entire contact funnel. So I'll just give you like a real funnel example, then we'll translate it into physical client acquisition. People spend a lot of money on Facebook ads or an ad, and then it goes to an opt-in page. And if it doesn't work, they go, that ad didn't work. Well, maybe it was exactly what happened on that opt-in page. And you optimize that, you might actually you plug a hole that happened, and maybe that leads to a sales event, and that leads to a shopping cart, and that leads to a one-time offer and an upsell, and to a thank you page, and to a post sale, and to a cross sell, and to an ascension sale. So the amateur just focuses on the ad and the initial lead generation. The professional looks at every step of the process and looks for optimization points, because inside each one of those is a leaky bucket. And every one of turning a dial to optimize in any one of those parts of the sequence can massively scale the ROI on the overall business enterprise. So, in a physical environment, it's ad, capture, appointment, engagement. But there are three distinct, the 3D game to play in businesses. You have the before they're a client, you have the during they're a client, and you have their after they're a client. And there are all sorts of dials and switches within those three different dimensions that, if optimized, radically increase the business enterprise in ways that, it's incalculable. So you got to look at it holistically and stop being an amateur and just focusing on the front end, because there's all sorts of optimizations, all sorts of exponential trigger points that happen all along the way if you learn to look at it in 3D. Not one dimension, but look at it in 3 dimensions: before, during, and after. And inside each of those, there's probably 100 different trigger points that, if optimized, can radically increase your business.
I remember something you said in there triggered this memory of me from when I was early on in my career, before we started Advisors Excel. Our old boss would always say, building a business is like a house party. You're going to invite a bunch of people to the party, but a bunch of them are going to leave out the back door. So you just got to keep inviting people to the party. And I remember Dave, we were young, like 23, 24. So it didn't go over well, but he goes, I don't understand why you can't just lock the back door so people don't leave. And, kind of threw him. He's like, that's not how it works.
Or just throw a better party so people don't want to leave.
Exactly.
That's the point.
But I think that was a lesson early on we've had. And, to this day, I think our advisor retention rate's like 97%.
Yeah.
Now I think the average time they've been with us is like 9 years, just because we focus. We're pretty good at recruiting, but we're really intentional about, once you get them, how do you make sure that you're providing so much value and adding to the relationship in a way they don't leave. So
you guys are legendary at that. The stories of what you've done to pour into your clients while they're clients, it's just incredible. So you guys do a phenomenal job, better than probably any organization I can think of, undoubtedly.
I appreciate you saying that.